Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. There is so much to process in today's news that after doing some research, talking to other people, I need to do a follow-up video, one of those rare 2 videos for one subject mornings. And I want to start off just getting the negative out of the way. And you can call me Mr. Negative all you want, but this is important. The Daily Special used to have the best drop rates in the contest, and I really feel like they were almost a mistake. Kabam thought about changing the drop rates to 3% for 3% or 4.5%. Because if you go to the crystals, let's look at the all black crystal, for example. The drop rate is now really, when you combine the 6-star Nexus, 4.5% for a 6-star, and the 5-star is about 22%. That's the best drop rates we've seen. But the normal drop rates are 3% for a 6-star and about 17% for a 5-star. Now, compare that to regular Cavalier crystals, where they have a 2.4% drop rate for a 6-star. That's actually better than it used to be. So really, regular Cavalier crystals now, I wonder if they're about to announce this, have a 3% drop rate for a 6-star and a 16% drop rate for a 5-star. 3% and 15%. Well, how is it then that the new daily specials have half the drop rates of regular Cav crystals? Remember, the whole point of these daily specials, be it that they're Nexus crystals, is to give people a better chance for a 5-star and a 6-star, and they're technically featured Cavalier crystals because they don't have Nexus crystals in them. These are supposed to be much better drop rates than the Sunday ones, which are technically Cav Nexus crystals that are not featured. They're the regular ones. These drop rates for 6-stars are worse than regular Cavalier crystals right now. That's unacceptable. That should not be the case. And I don't know what Kabam is thinking, but they have to update these. They're just simply wrong and broken in the worst possible of senses. So that's the negative. Now let's talk about a lot of positive, because there are certainly way more positives than negatives to talk about with these daily special increases. Cavalier players, this thing kind of snuck past me the first time. We, as all progression players, I don't care if you're Paragon, Thronebreaker, Cavalier, Uncollected, you name it, we don't see this a lot. Tier 4 class catalyst selectors, and we don't even see these a lot in side quest rewards. Certainly not event quest rewards. So, in terms of the value of the Cavalier Daily Special, a Tier 4 Class Catalyst Selector for $5 is as valuable as anything. And then on top of that, Cavalier players get the same, technically, Nexus. You'd think that the odds would be better for the Thronebreaker than the Cav, but of course, all Cavalier crystals are created equal right now. We don't have Thronebreaker crystals yet. And so I would hope that these updates would pave the way for Thronebreaker crystals. But, stay tuned. Kabam hasn't announced that at the time of recording this. 9,000 Tier 5 Basic Callus Fragments is very solid. That's, 20% of a Tier 5 Basic. But half a Tier 2 Alpha, 9,000 Tier 5 Basic, that's great. But the Tier 4 Class Catalyst Selector, I'm telling you, there are going to be people who are in my position, who are Paragon, who buy this just for the Tier 4 Class Catalyst Selector. It's that significant. And you also get the same amount of 6-star shards as Thronebreakers. I would have thought Thronebreaker players would get 1,000 6-star shards. So that is a bit surprising. And then, of course, you have the Cavalier stamp and the Thronebreaker stamp. Now, this is where I've needed some research because it's gotten confusing. Because if you look in the featured item store right now, you see a Paragon stamp card selector, a Cavalier stamp card selector, and a Grandmaster stamp card selector. You do not see a Thronebreaker. And I thought, why are Thronebreaker people getting screwed on these stamps when technically it says in the Thronebreaker daily card that there is something called a Thronebreaker stamp? It wouldn't make any sense if you couldn't use a Thronebreaker stamp on Paragon stamps. But thankfully, it's just not there for me, but it is there apparently for Thronebreaker players, because we're going to blacken out the screen real quick and jump to a different screen. And shout out to so many of you, including my friend Yuri, who sent along this. So remember, every day you get a stamp, and after 7 stamps, which is $35 plus tax and conversion rates, you get to buy one of these. Now, look, Kabam just gave a price tag of 10 6-star generic 6-stones. They think that's worth $50. So if you just put this offer up for $35 for Thronebreaker players, that's better than the offer that they give us normally. Keep in mind, that's $15 off these 6-stones without including literally anything else in the 7 days worth of an offer. It's like getting 7 days worth of everything you see in the daily special for free and a $15 discount off the 6-stones. Now, if you are chasing Paragon, if you're trying to get 3 rank 4 6-stars, even though you love 6-stones, you're probably going to feel compelled to have to choose that middle option, because even though it's 10% of a tier 3 alpha and 10% of a tier 6 basic, technically you're going to be able to form your next rank 4 6-star, assuming you've got all the other rank up materials than tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic, 2 times as fast, 3 times as fast. And then the 6-star shards, that is the least valued guaranteed item out of any of this, because 6-star shards are still the biggest gamble. If this was a 6-star Nexus crystal, it would have infinitely more temptation and value. Now, with that being said, I remind you that we are about to have a new 6-star featured crystal, and if it's amazing, maybe, just maybe, people are going to be tempted for 6-star shards. And when I talk about wishing this was a 6-star Nexus, some of you give me pushback because you say, Prof, I'd rather have the shards because of the featured crystal or the discounted featured crystal. And honestly, I can understand that argument, even though personally I do not agree with it for my own circumstances. So that's Thronebreaker from Yuri. Now, this is, I think, the Cav one. 7,500 6-star shards, a 25% tier 5 class Callus fragment selector. That's amazing for Cavalier players who need to take a 6-star to rank 3, right? And then the Mythic Nexus is, again, the worst value by far. Skip the Mythic Nexus. Really just go for the 25% tier 5 class Callus fragment selector. I think that's why this was clicked too. That's the A+ value. The 6-star shards are like a B-, and the Mythic Nexus crystal could easily be an F compared to the other 2 choices, because it's the same choice, right? Grandmasters, I gotta be honest, that middle is so good for Grandmaster players. A tier 5 basic and 3 tier 2 alpha for $35, and that's again $35 plus all the stuff you get. That is going to help so many players grow their accounts so quickly. So we're sitting back, we're seeing this value, and we've got to think to ourselves, how are we going to compare this to any normal offer? Because as I frame that with the most important Paragon stamp card selector in mind, y'all, for $35, that's $100 worth of 6-stones on a normal day. Okay? So that's 65% off 6-stones plus every day of the daily special bonus value. Now, I think that is incredibly tempting. But if you're trying, especially with Battlegrounds, see, Battlegrounds changes everything, because so many of you have told me, Prof, I can't get any higher in Battlegrounds because even though I feel like I have as good or even better skills than the people I'm losing to, they have a bunch of rank 4 6-star defenders, and I have 565 5-stars and maybe rank 3 6-stars. So Battlegrounds kind of makes people feel at the top like they need to, of course, for their own offensive and defensive sake, rank up 6-stars as high as possible, as many as possible. And so you're going to have the war come around with this. And this is, 20% of both? So it would take, of course, 5 rounds of these to form both a tier 6 basic and tier 3 alpha. Now, that's not including any of the tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic catalyst fragments from the Thronebreaker daily special. But again, if you need 5 of those, that's 35 times 5. That means now the price tag of a fully formed tier 3 alpha and fully formed tier 6 basic is $175. Plus tax, of course, plus fees. But that's way cheaper. These things were like $1,000 a couple months ago, if you were to equate this out. So now when Kabam says, hey, you want to spend $50 to get 9,000 tier 3 alpha catalyst fragments and 11,400 tier 6 basic, your brain should be like, hell no, I don't want to spend $50. I want to spend $35 to get the same thing plus all the other extras. But the 6-stone market, which is still bare in so many ways, has been transformed forever with the far right signature stone deal. I mean, that is a dupe worth of a 6-star. Guaranteed, because it is generic 6 stones for $35. So Paragon players, I know 15,000 6-star shards is fun, especially if you want to open a feature, but there's no guaranteed value out of that. There's all guaranteed value out of the middle and the right. So, wow. I cannot say this enough. The economy of the game is broken. Everything has to be reset. And it is up to me and my channel to do the hard work to, more than ever, compare daily offers from now on to the daily special and see if it's really worth your money. Because now they're going to have to do things like that are twice as good to even equal this. And I think that helps the player, even though it's a scam. So they're probably still going to try to do some shady offers. There you go, YouTube. The economy of the game is broken. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.